Namaste, yogis. Welcome to your practice. I'm Carter. Today's practice is for all of us that have a bad shoulder or bad shoulders. But if you don't have bad shoulders, you can still do this practice. Let's get to our mat. All right, yogis, let's come to the front of our mat. This practice, we're going to have limited extension with the arms up over the head. So we're going to start with the hands to heart center. Nice. Inhale, come onto your toes. Exhale, come onto the heels. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Drop the hands, give them a little shake. A little twist from side to side. And then let's interlace our fingers behind the back. Bend and straighten the elbows. We're just kind of giving a sense of where our shoulders are today. And if you have no shoulder issues, great, go ahead. But if you're feeling any pain anywhere in the shoulders, you just do limited movement. We don't try to fix anything in our yoga practice. Separate those feet a little bit wider than the hips, a little bend in the knees. Bring your belly towards your thighs, tuck your chin, and soften. So if it feels all right, you can extend the arms a little bit off the lower back. For me, this feels fine. I have more problems with extending the arms up over the head. Bend and straighten the knees, relax the jaw, let the head dangle. Then unwind those fingers, drop the arms, give the hands and arms a little shake. Heel toe those feet a little bit closer together, come on up halfway. And then exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step your right foot back, drop to your right knee. Step your left foot back. Drop the left knee, bring your big toes together, draw your hips back towards your heels, child's pose. So for me, this extending with the arms up over the head is a little bit too much, so I just cross the arms and rest the forehead on the forearms. Through exhalation, allow your hips to draw back and down, allow the belly to soften, and give yourself a moment here. I often get asked a lot is, what happens if I'm injured? Can I still practice? And I say, yeah, just be mindful of the injury and you just work around it. Inhale, come on up to table, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Draw those hips out to the right and then draw the hips forward and back. Just some movement in the hips. Back to center, left hip presses out, forward and back. And then into neutral spine, drop the belly, scoop the tailbone up, lift the chin and chest, wag the tail here. Exhale, tuck the chin around the spine, tuck the tailbone, cat pose, wag the tail here. And then give yourself a couple more rounds through cats and cows. Breath moves the body. And always bringing a lot of mindfulness to the shoulders today. Nice. Flip the toes under, draw the hips back, and then let those hands dangle a little bit. Nice. And then interlace those fingers again, squeeze shoulder blades together, bend and straighten the elbows. Hinge forward about halfway. If you can go farther, go right ahead, forehead touches the ground. You can also have that option of rolling under the crown of the head, arms off the lower back. And again, if this is not feeling right for the shoulders, then you can just soften the hands back towards the lower back. Just a little inversion to start the practice. Inhale, come on up. If you're hinging forward, unwind those fingers. And let's point those toes. So let's rest on the tops of the feet. Twist to the right. Take your right hand back by your right pinky toe on the floor. And the left hand comes to that right thigh. Lift the heart, draw the right shoulder back. Gentle twist to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Let's do the other side. So left hand comes down somewhere on the left pinky toe. Right hand to the left thigh. Gentle twist to the left. Now, a few poses that I can't do, and you're more than welcome to throw these in your practices. Downward facing dog is not working for me. Any extension up over the head, so in Warrior 1, problem, Crescent Warrior problem, Warrior 3 problem. So I'm not doing those today, but you're always welcome to add those into your practice. Inhale, come back to center. Let's take the hands down, table pose. And this time, we're going to bring those knees close together and extend the right leg. Roll the right ankle, wiggle the toes, flex the foot. Draw that right knee towards the right arm, and then extend it back. I'm not too worried about the veracity here, just movement. Right knee towards left arm, send it back. Right knee towards belly, chest, step the right foot forward, and then lift the torso up. Take the hands to that right thigh. Hips draw forward and down. You can press the top of the foot into the ground and tuck the tailbone. This is one of those options where you could extend your arms up to the sky if that feels all right. Not for me. All right, so the arms are nice and soft. So when we're working with practice and injury, we're just concerned about just moving the body, right? I don't necessarily want to stay stagnant when I am injured, but I don't want to aggravate it, and I don't want to make it even worse. So give yourself a moment. Left hip flexor, the psoas around that lower back and groin. Take both hands down around that right foot. Draw the hips back, roll under the right heel. Flex that right foot a little bit to feel the back of that leg. Bend and straighten the knee to get a sense of where you are. Soften or press belly chest towards the thigh. Nice. Right knee bends, right foot finds the floor. Roll over the left toes, lift the left knee, and then step the left foot forward. Come up halfway, flatten the back, lift chin and chest. Exhale, fold forward, tuck the chin. Sway a little bit from side to side. From here, we're going to heel toe those feet out. We're going to lower the hips down. Malasana yogi squat. Hands come to heart center as you lengthen through the spine. Tailbone drops, heart lifts. Options in this pose could be one hand drops down, the opposite arm lifts up. And you can do this right side and left side. We have time, but for me today, I'm just staying. So it's elbows inside or on top of the knees. The tailbone is dropping. It's nice for the lower back, calves, backs, the legs. Tuck the chin and breathe. Keep in mind, we're always checking in with our bodies to find out, do we need movement or stillness? So if you're fidgeting a lot today or in the morning, you may need some stillness in practice. And if you're feeling a little bit lethargic, you may need some movement. One more big inhale, slow exhale. Take the hands down, tuck the chin, lift the hips and straighten the knees, swivel your heels out. A little bit of a wider leg forward fold, a little bit of swaying from side to side, tuck the chin. Arms dangle, and then heel toe your feet a little bit closer together. Come on up halfway, flatten the back. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Left foot steps back, left knee drops. Right foot steps back, right knee drops. Table pose, cats and cows. Also another pose you won't be seeing me do today is any variation of chaturanga. That's not working at all in my practice. And again, if you love your chaturangas, top of a push-up, halfway down through upward facing dog, always available. You can throw those in anytime you like. Neutral spine, knees close together, extend your left leg behind you, roll the ankle, wiggle the toes, flex the foot. Left knee towards left arm. We're just thinking about fluidity and movement today. Inhale, extend, lengthen, and lift. Left knee towards right arm, a little bit of the side body. Inhale, extend, lengthen, and lift. And then left knee towards belly, chest, or chin. Now to step that foot forward, you may need to round the spine and step it forward. You're always welcome to grab it and pull it forward as well. Come on up. Support that right kneecap if you need to. Make your adjustments. Square the pelvis to the front of your mat. Draw the hips forward and down. And that is your hip flexor. That's the top of your right thigh. And keep in mind, for most of us, we need two things. We need flexibility and we need strength. So in this pose, if you soften that right leg, draw the hips forward and tuck that tailbone, that's a stretch. So that may feel pretty good, maybe a little intense. But for strengthening, you can push the top of the right foot into the ground and again, tuck the tailbone. And you could vacillate between the two. A moment here. If you drive in a car, or ride in a car, or sit at a desk for a long time, this hip flexor may be very short and tight and very weak. So this is always a good posture to do every day. You can also support the kneecap as well. Both hands down around that left foot. Draw the hips back, roll onto that left heel. Soften or press the belly, chest towards the thigh. Square the hips towards the front of the mat. In a moment, keep in mind, injuries happen. It's not like you're doing anything that is wrong. It's just like they happen as we move through our lives. And then the more important thing is, how do we respond to injury? And the first step is nurturing, taking care, and healing. Then it's range of motion strengthening as we move forward. Exhale, left knee bends, left foot finds the floor, roll over the right toes, lift the right knee, step that right foot forward. Come up halfway, flatten your back, lift your chin and chest, and bring your feet a little bit closer together. On your exhalation, bend the knees, plant the hands, step your left foot back. Swivel all 10 toes towards the long left side of your mat, long edge of your mat. So you're in a wide-legged forward fold, the heels pushing out so the outsides of the feet are parallel to the short ends of the mat. And you may feel that through the outsides of the right shins. Right? Feels pretty good. Tuck your chin, let the arms either dangle or blocks, or maybe they find the floor. You can tuck the chin, you can walk your hands back between the legs, you can pull a little bit. Options would be hands coming to the ankles or the big toes. So give yourself a couple breaths here. All right, from here, I'm going to take the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to bend that left knee and we're going to drop that left hip a little bit. So this is one variation. We're going to soften to that right groin. We're going to give ourselves a moment. Now, if you're needing more, you're welcome to lower that left hip all the way down and roll onto the right heel. Now, you have a lot of options here. I personally like my left arm inside my left leg and I press a little so I start to feel the groins. Another option would be right arm reaches up. I ain't doing that today. So I'm going to take the right hand, I'm going to slide it down the right leg. I'm going to explore for a moment with you together. I'm going to see if I can extend my right arm out in front of me a little bit to find extension. Feels all right on the shoulder. It feels pretty nice. So these are your options. These are a few of your options. Give yourself another breath here. And then bring that right hand back underneath the shoulder. And we're going to walk back into that wide-legged forward fold. Tuck the chin. Hands underneath your shoulders. Come up halfway. Heel toe your feet closer together. Come back into that yogi squat. So hips drop down, hands to heart center. Again, variations work for you. You could take right hand down and twist to the left. Left hand down, twist to the right. And if it's working for your shoulders, go right ahead. If you are struggling with yogi squat to get the heels down, then maybe you can grab onto something and hold, right? And then try to get the hips down. If you're not able to get the heels down, you're maybe a little bit tight in hips or hamstrings or calves, and that's okay. So heels don't have to come down. Exhale, hands down, tuck the chin, lift the hips, swivel the heels out. We're going to walk your hands towards the front of your mat. And so now we have a little bit of a stagger of the legs and we're going to come on up. So we have our right foot forward. The left foot is back. You can always scoot that left foot out to the left a little bit. And the back foot is at a 45-degree angle. So it's almost like a really narrow warrior one stance, but with a straight right knee. What we're going to do is we're going to come forward just a little bit with interlaced fingers, and we're going to hinge. And then give your right knee a little bend, round the spine a little bit more. Unwind those fingers, drop your hands down, come off that back leg. So now we're in a standing split. We're balancing on the right foot. We're going to slowly come on up. I'm not coming into airplane. I'm going to take hands to heart center. You could extend the arms out in front of you for warrior three. or out wide like airplane, but my shoulder's not working for that today. And then very slowly come all the way up. And then take that left foot, bring it on the inside of that left leg. And you could reach down and grab it. Could be the inside of the calf, inside of the ankle. And tree pose. And again, I'm not reaching my arms up. I'm keeping my hands at heart center. You could also swivel palms forward. So any variation with the arms that work for you today. But think about left knee and left hip drawing back, right hip drawing open, belly drawing up and in, and chin down and back. One more breath. Let's bring the left foot down and then roll into the right toes. Press the front of that right ankle forward and down, and then roll to those toes and roll the ankle. Shake out the right leg, come back to the front of your mat. Hands to heart center. Tuck your tailbone a little bit. On your exhalation, very gently fold forward, drop your arms, tuck your chin, dangle the head, and then we're going to step that right foot back. We're going to walk the hands to the middle of our mat. So we got a wide-legged forward fold, but this time we move to the right, and then we're going to soften. Arms can find opposite elbow if that feels okay in your shoulders. Some of you may be able to get the crown of your head to the ground. Maybe not. I love wide-legged forward fold. It does so much back body inversion, letting the arms and shoulders dangle. It's a really nice asana. Then we're going to do skandasana on the other side. So we're going to walk the hands to the right. We're going to bend the right knee. And again, you could stay up high if like getting down to that heel and hip don't touch. You can stay up here, right? You can extend and reach. You can do all different variations. You're softening left groin. You do have the option of the right hip lowering all the way down to the right heel. The left foot could be on the heel or on the ground. If you're on the heel, it's a little bit more hamstring, and if your foot's down, a little bit more groin. So you kind of work that in a way that supports the body. Right hand down to the floor, right elbow inside that right knee. We press a little bit for that space between the legs. You can find the variation with the arms. You can extend the arm up. This is my good shoulder. So you could extend the arm up. You could bend it behind the back. Any variations. I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other side just because I can balance it out. So I can extend to the left toes, but I'm going to try to reach a little bit forward. I always encourage you to have a little bit of curiosity in practice so you can kind of move the hand around in a way that explores sensation. There's not one specific way to do an asana, so you're finding out what works best for the body. Another big inhale, slow exhale. All right, left hand comes down back to that wide-legged forward fold. Tuck the chin. We're going back into the yogi squat. So we're going to heel toe those feet closer together. Roll the toes out. Draw the hips down. Again, heels up or down doesn't really matter. Hands to heart center or any variation that works with the arms. Breathe. All right, hands down, lift the hips and straighten the knees, swivel the heels out. And then we're gonna walk the hands to the left and we're gonna rotate all 10 toes towards the front of the mat. And then we're gonna come on up. So again, we have that little bit of a narrow warrior one stance with a straight left knee. Back foot is grounded down. You can always move those legs around. We're gonna interlace the fingers behind the back with a straight and locked left knee. We're gonna draw the left hip back and the right hip forward. We're gonna hinge forward until the back of the leg says it's enough. So for me, it's about halfway down. And right now the left knee is locked and the thigh is engaged for just a moment. And then I'm gonna micro bend the left knee and I'm gonna round the spine as I tuck the chin. Head dangles a little bit. You can even squeeze the legs a little bit together to keep your balance. Unwind those fingers, give them a little shake. Take the hands down and then lift the right foot off the ground. Doesn't have to be high, although it could be. This is a standing split. So hands could be underneath the shoulders, they could be in alignment with the toes, or you could grab foot, ankle, or shin. And we're gonna come up halfway. So again, It could be arms out wide like airplane wings, or arms extending out in front of you for warrior 3, but I'm keeping my hands together. Slowly bring that back knee forward, and we're going to take that right foot, we're going to bring it on the inside of that left leg. Could be calf, ankle, or inner thigh. Draw that knee open. Draw the hands to heart center. And once again, any variation that works for you, so the arms can reach up. Whoa. All right. And in tree pose, the goal is not necessarily to be completely still in our practice. We're always kind of looking for our edges. We're working towards mastery. A moment. Breathe. All right. Hands to heart center. If they're not already, take that right foot off and gently rest it onto the ground. Let's roll into the left toes. Press the front of the ankle forward and down. And make some circles and maybe shake out that left leg. And then to the front of your mat. Hands to heart center. Let's swivel the palms open, Tadasana. Nice. Hands to heart center again. Little hinge forward at the waist. Little bend in the knees, round the spine, tuck the chin. Inhale, come up halfway, flatten your back. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Left foot steps back. The right foot walks to the left. Draw it back, lay it down. We're doing half pigeon on the right side. Square the hips and lower the elbows down. If you have any sensation in that right knee that's uncomfortable, either slide a block or a pillow underneath that hip or thigh, or come out completely and do some other variation. If you're not sure, you're always welcome to send me a message and ask me some variations that work, alternative to the half pigeon pose. So a moment to find your pigeon. So you do these micro adjustments. Then you find stillness and breathe. Heavy left hip bone. Soften the belly, the shoulders, the jaw, the forehead. We're almost there. And just work. Hands under shoulders, gently lift yourself on up. We're going to do pigeon on the other side. So if your shoulders are up for it, you can roll over the left toes. Step your right foot back for downward facing dog, and then bring the left shin forward. That ain't working for me today. So I'm going to come on up. I'm going to move that right foot underneath that right shoulder, and I'm just going to reverse what I did. So I'm going to step my left foot forward, step my right foot back, and then I'm going to walk my left foot to the right and lay it on down. So this is just modified practice. Shift the hips from side to side and lower down. You may find that there's a difference right side, left side, pretty normal. So allow yourself to move in a way that supports the body. I mean, this practice is specifically for people with injured shoulders, but it doesn't mean you have to do this pose, this posture, this practice if you have an injured shoulder. You can always add the arms in any way, shape, or form that support you. This is what the beauty about yoga is that I can practice almost at any time in some facet, no matter what my injuries are. And I've had it where I've been sick, or my lower back has been bothering me, or my ankle, and I just work around it. I just don't do poses that hurt the area of the body. And I'm just moving energy and feeling the body and nurturing the rest of my body. There's nothing wrong with that. So every practice you do doesn't have to be a 90-minute super hard vinyasa hot class, right? I can't remember the last time I did a 90-minute hot vinyasa yoga class. One more breath here. Hands come underneath shoulders, gently lift yourself on up. This time we're going to drop to the left hip. Sweep the right leg around towards the belly. A little squeeze here. Let's come into happy baby. Both arms grab the bottoms of the feet as you bring the ankles up over the knees. Draw those knees down towards the rib cage, and a little bit of playfulness here. So bending and straight knees, feet in and out. We are now preparing for Shavasana. So when you are ready, you can either bring the feet to the floor with bent knees, maybe slide something underneath the knees, or soles of the feet together as the knees fan out, or a little bit more traditionally, heels towards the corners of your mat with an external rotation of the thighs, feet fall open. Palms can be up or down by the side body, or left hand to heart, right hand to belly. Tuck the chin, take a nice big inhale through the nose and exhale with a sigh. And then soften the toes, the ankles, calves, thighs, so the legs become very relaxed. Soften the fingers, the forearms, the elbows, biceps, triceps, and shoulders, so the arms become very relaxed and soft. Feel the softness of the belly. Feel the groundedness of the shoulder blades that they melt into the mat as you open up through the chest and the heart. And relax the jaw, the tongue, the eyes in their sockets, forehead. The breath becomes a whisper as you let the body be still and rest as you digest all this movement and sensation. And when you are ready, allow the breath to deepen. Slowly wiggle the fingers and the toes. Rock the head from side to side. And then gently draw the knees towards the belly as you give yourself a little squeeze. So you can stay here, or if one of your shoulders is okay, you can extend that arm up over your head and roll to that side. And give yourself a moment. Pressing your hands into the ground, bring yourself up into a comfortable seat. Bring the hands together as you lengthen through the spine. Take a nice big inhale through your nose and exhale out your mouth. Nice job showing up for your practice today. Namaste. Nice work, yogis. If you like this practice, give me a thumbs up, a like. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. If you want to do this full practice, go to yogawithcarter.com and get a free 14-day trial for my recorded class, Vault. Keep up the good work. See you soon. Peace.